We got a lot to talk about today. Are you ready? Okay, I'll take that silence as a yes. Hello, cinephiles, and welcome to Silver Screen Sits, a podcast where two idiots talk about movies. And welcome to season 16. Hooray! Today, we are kicking off the Indiana Jones franchise with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thank you. I was really hoping that you would do that. Just a reminder, there are spoilers ahead for movies and TV shows that you might not have seen yet, so just know that you've been warned. I will let you guys know up ahead of time. We will be having a shorter news segment for This Week in Hollywood because we got to talk about the Oscars.
No.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's that time. Well, speaking of This Week in Hollywood, let's start the segment, shall we?
We shall.
This Week in Hollywood. Alrighty. Starting off with Netflix, everyone's favorite streaming platform that everyone loves so much. Only for $30 a month now. Netflix, guess what? Has canceled yet another film that has already finished production, furthering a negative streaming trend that people have been noticing. The sci-fi movie was directed by Halle Berry, started filming back in 2021 and just recently was canceled due to its extended post-production process. Did they not realize there was a strike and COVID? Oh, whatever. The movie, which was also starring Halle Berry, followed a woman and her children as they uncover a mysterious space object and search for her missing husband. Interesting. The movie was titled The Mothership, and it was written and directed by Matthew Charman and also starred Molly Parker and Amari Hardwick. Unfortunately, it might never see the light of day. Rest in peace.
Just another project down the hole for tax break.
I don't get it. I'm pretty sure the trailer's online too, so you can go watch what will never be. If you're interested in that.
That is true. Well, in things that should be canceled, just when we thought there might be an end to the Jurassic World franchise, life finds a way when it really shouldn't. Despite the most recent Jurassic World Dominion capping off the most recent trilogy in 2022, the studio is looking to start up again with Jurassic scriptwriter David Cope overseeing development. Cope wrote the Jurassic Park and the Lost World for Steven Spielberg, so the original first two. So we shouldn't expect to see the likeness of Chris Pratt or Bryce Dallas Howard, Samuel L. Jackson, or Jeff Goldblum for that matter.
Yeah.
Additionally, Frank Marshall, who produced the Jurassic World trilogy, is also on board. Why? Just why?
Who knows?
Who knows? Money, but also the last one was so terrible.
Dominion?
Jurassic World.
I want to forget about Dominion.
Yeah, Jurassic World, each movie
progressively got worse.
Yeah, so it was oh, that's pretty good. Oh God, no, Jesus.
Yeah, that was rough when the volcano was erupting and he's running alongside the dinosaurs. It was a rough time. It was a bad time of my life. I don't want to think about it.
But what about the 007 style?
Running on the roof. Yeah.
Running on the roof.
Can't forget that one either.
The Globetrotter. Anyway.
Oh my God. Anyways, let's move on to our next headline. Now, Mattel seems to be on a pretty big run here after their success with Barbie, because guess what? They're now working on a new movie, except this one's going to be animated, and it is Bob the Builder. Yes, Bob the Builder is ready for his big silver screen debut. Who knows? Who knows why? The iconic kids show character. Yay, you can do it. The iconic kids show character will be the star of a new animated feature from Mattel. Jennifer Lopez is producing the movie. Okay. While In the Heights star Anthony Ramos will voice the title character. The film follows Bob. Listen to this log line. Okay, this is the official log line. And for those who don't know what a log line is, it's basically sums up the movie in one or two sentences. And it's supposed to intrigue you, like an elevator pitch, basically. So, listen to this. The film follows Bob, who travels to Puerto Rico for a major construction job. Audiences will see Bob as he, quote, takes on issues affecting the island and digs deeper into what it means to build. Bob's journey will celebrate the vibrant and colorful textures of the Caribbean Latin nations and their people. End quote.
What?
Oh, by the way, Bob the Builder is going to be Latin.
I mean, it feels kind of racist. I don't know why, but I feel offended.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, of course the Hispanic is the construction worker. Just come on. Seriously, guys?
As a Puerto Rican, I don't know why, but I feel offended.
Yeah, right? Felipe Vargas is attached to write the screenplay, and I don't know how to fucking say his name. I'm sorry. But a director has not been announced yet. I don't know. It seems like a lot.
It's a lot to take in. That's for sure.
It is. Anyways, moving on.
I'm genuinely, when the trailer drops, I can't wait to look at that comment section because it's going to be a doozy. Now, something a lot of people didn't see coming is Tenet is returning to theaters. Yes, that's right. You can go watch Tenet in IMAX or 70mm, but only for 1 week. However, it will only be a limited run showing in Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Columbus, Ohio, Dallas, Indianapolis, LA, Montreal, Missouri. So not Canada. Sorry, this is just America. Nashville, New Orleans, New York, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. And it'll be happening for 1 week, February 23rd through the 1st.
Interesting. Still haven't seen it. Maybe that'll be my time.
Well, you'll be going to Atlanta, Georgia for that.
Yeah, oh, true. Taking a trip. All right. As our last headline, it is officially award season. So you know what that means. It's time to talk about the Oscars. But before we dive into that mess, let's talk the Emmys. Here are some of the winners from the Emmys. Just some of the headlines, some of the highlights, if you will. So for Outstanding Drama Series, Succession won. Shocker. For Outstanding Comedy Series, The Bear won. For Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, Sarah Snook won in Succession. And Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series was Kieran Culkin as well, for his role in Succession. And Succession and The Bear tied for the most wins at the 75th Emmy Awards. So haven't seen either of those shows.
My sister has seen The Bear. She says it's very, very good.
I'm just I'm not a huge TV watcher, like show watcher. Like the only show I think I still keep up with is Bob's Burgers.
I thought you were gonna say Bob the Builder.
Yes, Bob the Builder. I'm studying for the movie.
Bob the Builder of Burgers.
Aha. But that does conclude This Week in Hollywood. You can find all of our sources cited on our Discord channel. And now that we are done with that, let's talk about the Oscars, shall we? Yeah. Well, let's just talk about the nominees for some of the bigger nominees, let me say, for the categories, such as Best Picture, Director, and Best Actors and Actresses. So for, we'll just start at the top here. This is on oscars.org. So you can find all of this here on your own if you want to go take a little look-see. So for actor in a leading role, our nominees are Bradley Cooper in Maestro. He did a good job, in my opinion, but this is a hot take. He felt like he was trying a little too hard to be a best actor. You know what I mean?
Didn't he direct it too?
Yeah. It just felt like he was trying a little hard, in my opinion.
Interesting.
We also have Coleman Domingo in Rustin. We have Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. Those are our actors nominated for a leading role. Now we have actresses in a leading role, which, here we go. We have Annette Bening in Nyad. Annette. What'd I say?
And Nyad.
I said in Nyad.
Yes.
The movie. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? I thought you were pronouncing her name.
No. Her name's Annette Bening. Yes, but I was saying in
Nyad.
What is it?
Like Nyad?
Nyad? Oh, whatever. Her.
Oh.
Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Huller in Anatomy of a Fall. Or Hewler. I think it's Hewler. Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things.
I gotta see Poor Things.
I do too. That's literally like my number one movie that I'm watching next. That and The Holdovers are kind of tied. And
You haven't seen the Holdovers yet?
No, dude, I haven't.
It's on Peacock.
I know. I'll get there. Don't you worry. For directing, we have Justine Triet for Anatomy of the Fall, or of a Fall, sorry. Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. And Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest.
Another A24 movie. I see.
Yep. And we have Best Picture. Here are our nominees. Quite a few. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest.
That's a lot.
There is a lot. And now that I've named them, what do you think? Okay, so I asked you this question the other day, and we were going to wait until the podcast to talk about it.
Are we jumping into are we jumping into your segment?
No. This is a separate question. This is not Beth's question of the day. Who do you want to win Best Picture, and who do you think will actually win Best Picture?
Okay. For Best Picture, I think Barbie will win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Oppenheimer. Sorry, yeah, I think Barbie will win, but Oppenheimer is the one that should get it.
I kind of think the same thing, but there's a part of me that still thinks Oppenheimer might win Best Picture just because it's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Like all of these movies, I mean, I haven't seen most of them yet, but like of Barbie and Oppenheimer, let's just be honest, because it's just with everything that goes on with these things, it's more than likely going to be a showdown between those two.
Yeah.
Amongst if the Bear and Secession, it's going to be Barbie and Oppenheimer. They're basically just going to be sweeping up awards, probably.
And I'm honestly kind of surprised. Not saying that it deserves to be nominated for Best Picture, but I am honestly legitimately surprised that Saltburn has not won nomination.
I'm not surprised.
I'm just considering like how much hype it got and like seems culturally loved from a lot, except you. But like even for like editing or like cinematography or something like that, or even music, like or soundtrack, whatever you want to call it. Like I'm surprised it didn't make it for any of those, or screenwriting or something. I don't know.
It's competition. Well, can it be really screenwriting if he's improvising everything?
Yeah, right. Well, I think it's an adapted screenplay, so it could have been nominated for that, but it was not.
But again, it's just him improvising. If he's improvising stuff that's not in the screenplay or in the source material, then should it really be nominated for that? That's there was something that was Barbie was like I think it got nominated for like adapted screenplay. And everybody's like, but there's no actual there's no adapted.
Well, there's a book called Saltburn that the movie is based on.
Yes, but I'm saying for like Barbie, there is no source material. It's a doll. Like that the source material is just like the concept. Is not even like a short story.
I totally agree with.
Yeah, it's like there's no short story, there's no book, there's nothing. Like there's movies that have been based off like short stories where like it's only a paragraph long, but then they made like a whole movie off of it. But even there, just like that's source material.
Yeah.
Barbie has no source material. It's a doll.
Oh, another category I wanted to bring up was visual effects. I wanted to hear your take on this. So the nominees for this for visual effects are The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. What do you think? Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win?
This is visual effects. I was like,
yeah.
I haven't had a chance to see The Creator, but from what I have seen and what I've read about the behind the scenes of it, I would say their cinematography would probably win something based off like how they filmed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're nominated for cinematography though.
I don't believe so.
No, so I don't think it'd win visual effects. Godzilla -1, it'll win visual. That's what I want to win because it should win.
That's kind of also what I was leaning towards was visual effects. I thought it would be Godzilla -1.
Yeah, because if you've like the CGI as a CGI, but like the visual effects in Godzilla -1, you would think they like did it with miniatures or like something really, really realistic. So when there's actually a video of I think they sent it to the group chat. This video of the of like the visual effects team cheering when they got nominated. And I think they deserve it because my God, because even the scenes, even the stuff that isn't Godzilla, like you got Godzilla. That's like the main thing. But the scenes of like the destruction that he causes, the aftermath, the during everything, scenes of just like, because it focuses on some humans. So you're watching like human stuff and you don't even see Godzilla, and the CGI in there is immaculate.
Yeah.
So I think Godzilla -1 should win. Now I haven't seen Napoleon, but I'm sure Napoleon's is like a period piece. So I'm sure it'll win for some reason.
Yeah, and it is also Ridley Scott. So
yeah, so it may win. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I don't know why that's in here.
Yeah, that's the random choice.
Now the special if there's like a special effects, like like a practical effects one, they deserve that one because they got this dude actually flying. Like the stuff they did is real. So the fact that they like are giving him a nomination, giving him a nomination, unless they're including that somehow in this, then I would say they are a very big contender. But I don't understand why, because a lot of this, the whole point of their stuff is that they did it for real. They threw a train off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly. That's like putting like Christopher Nolan, like putting Oppenheimer in visual effects. It's like, it's mainly done in like practical effects, Yeah,
because he did blow up.
Yeah.
He didn't blow up Nevada.
Even like the particles and stuff, like that was all made with practical effects.
Yeah. So unless my understanding of what they consider visual effects, if that's if my understanding is skewed, then maybe I get it. But like from my understanding of what they mean by visual effects, they mean like CGI and that kind of stuff. That's what I'm going for.
Right. Anyways, we could talk about this for ages, but in case anyone is wondering, the awards are on March 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think.
Yeah. California.
And the host is Jimmy Kimmel, so that'll be great.
Oh.
I don't like Jimmy Kimmel, nor do I like Jimmy Fallon. I was thinking
of Conan O'Brien. He should do it one day.
I think they should get Ricky Gervais back.
They'll never do that again.
It's so good. It's so funny. I love that man.
He knew he only had one chance. He said, "I'm going to take it."
Hey, as long as they don't get what's his name, Joe Coy from I think it was the Emmys or the Golden Globes or whatever.
Oh,
Yikes.
yeah.
That was rough.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I watched the 10-minute monologue, and he honestly, I'm not going to lie, he was doing solid for like the first 2 minutes, and then he started making the Barbie jokes, and it immediately went downhill from there. Everything was bad. Yikes. After that. Like he got to the point where he was defending himself, and he's like, I didn't write that one. The ones that you are laughing at are the ones that I wrote. And you're like, dude, that's not helping the situation at all. You're making this super awkward.
It's weird because aren't they rehearsed beforehand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, Oppenheimer is a 769 paged biopic adapted screenplay into a cinematic film. And Barbie is about a plastic doll with boobies. And it just cuts to fucking Margot Robbie with the most deadpanned face. And Greta Gerwig is just like, that's not what the fuck the movie's about.
He did not pass the whoever wrote these jokes did not pass the Barbie test.
Yeah. I was like, yikesies.
Also, boobies, are we in the 6th grade?
I know. I was like, ew, like that's like the worst word you could. That made me uncomfortable.
Yikes.
But anyways, are we going to do an Oscar party this year?
Probably not. I haven't watched the Oscars in like 3 years because they've disappointed me.
It's a week after my birthday, though. You could come up and we could have a birthday/Oscar party celebration.
Will we be getting severely drunk?
Yes.
I'll get drunk with the cat. I'll get drunk with soup.
I can't. I feel bad for the cat.
Okay. Maybe.
Anyways.
Okay,
maybe. We'll talk about it. Alrighty. Let's move on to our next segment, which is Big Lou's Big Brews, brought to you by the man himself, Big Lou.
Not physically.
Lou's, not physically, spiritually.
Or conceptually. Or figuratively.
Or all of those at the same time.
Metaphysically.
Just a fun little mention, by the way, because we had talked about this in a guest episode with another podcast, Dream a Fantastic Dream podcast, that we were on a while back. But there's a bar in Disney Springs called Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, and they have all kinds of Indiana Jones themed cocktails, food, and decor. So if you ever are at Disney Springs, check that out, or go onto their menu and just make the drinks yourself. But yeah, let's go on to our first drink of the season.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you. There's a section there for pizzas called Fräulein's Flatbreads.
Oh my God. Fräulein's.
Beautiful.
Fräulein. Now, for our first drink for Raiders of the Lost Ark, we have the Red Raider drink. Beautiful, beautiful name. Beautiful drink.
Yeah,
gorgeous
that's
drink.
Nice. I want
It's
the
a
glass.
nice red. Yeah. Now, this recipe came from homebarmenu.com, so you can find the recipe on there. And I can already tell I'm going to like this drink. Okay, here we go. Ingredients. All right. 2 ounces of bourbon, drinker's choice. Let me tell you what bourbon I suggest, in case you're wondering, because this is my only area of expertise when it comes to liquor. My bourbons of choice, if you're on the cheaper side, go for a Larceny. It's a nice smokier sided bourbon. If you're going for a more expensive taste, you could try Whistle Pig. That's a classic. Or Widow Jane. That's also a classic. Or Weller, if you're really rich. So 2 ounces of bourbon of your choice. Then you're going to add 1 ounce of, how do I say that word?
Cointreau.
Cointreau?
Yep.
Never heard of it. 1/2 ounce of grenadine and 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice. So here's how to make it. We're going to, in a shaker with ice, add the bourbon. It's fucking triple sec. I'm an idiot. 1 ounce of triple sec, okay? And cointreau, however you want to say it. I'm probably butchering it. So you're going to add the bourbon, triple sec, lemon juice, and the grenadine all into a shaker with ice. Shake the mixture vigorously for about 15 seconds to blend the flavors and chill the ingredients. And then you're going to strain the well-mixed Red Raider cocktail into a chilled rocks glass filled with ice and garnish with a lemon twist. Tits. Sorry, Freudian slip. With ice and garnish with a lemon twist for a citrusy and visually appealing touch. And that is the drink. Super simple, super great. I mean, personally, I'm speaking for you. I'm not speaking for you. So what do you think?
I think it's good. I like it. I mean, I don't think I've had many bourbons, but I think this would be a good start.
Yes, I think it would be great for you. I think it'd be on the sweeter side for you, since you're not a super strong bourbon lover. You have had bourbon.
I have.
It's in a Four Horsemen. One of them is in a Four Horsemen. But I think, what's in a Four Horsemen? Jameson?
Jack Jameson. Oh my God.
They're all the 4 J's. Jameson, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam?
Jack, Jim, Jameson.
Jose?
No, that's tequila.
You're right.
I literally forget the fourth. I forget the fourth one every single time.
Jack, Jim, Jameson. Google it.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. That's right. Always
Jack,
forget
Jim,
that one.
Johnny, Jameson.
That's
and
it.
if you really want to get crazy, the 5 Horsemen is Jose.
Yes, that seals the deal. But yeah, I think this would be a good start for you. I don't know. It sounds really good. And it's very visually pleasing. I would give this a 5 out of 5.
I'd give this a 4 out of 5. I think I'd like it, especially since it's sweet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good number, I would say. All right. Well, thank you, Lewis, for that. That was nice and easy. Hopefully they're all as good as that. I don't want a fucking grass cocktail like that one episode. You remember that?
Vegans.
You vegans, even your alcohol's fucking grass. Anyways.
You know who doesn't drink grass? You know who's not a vegan? Actually, they might be. I don't know. But I hope not. Our sponsor. So we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor of today's episode, Shaker and Spoon. It's a monthly subscription service that gives you bar quality recipes and ingredients designed by award-winning mixologists. Their latest box, Totally Tequila, which I keep on thinking of that song.
Tequila.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. It features incredible tequila blanco cocktail recipes. If you want your very own box to drink along with us, then head on over to shakerandspoon.com and use promo code SIPS10 to get $10 off your first subscription. Again, that's promo code SIPS10 to get $10 off.
Woohoo! You're a tequila fan, yeah?
No.
No? Oh, you're
No.
rum. Sorry, rum.
I like rum. However, I was at a Christmas party? I was at a New Year's party because that's why we were drinking. And someone pulled out this tequila rose strawberry cream.
Oh, yes. You've told me about this.
Yes. Oh, my God. It was so good. It tasted like melted viscous cream ice cream. Like it was strawberry ice cream, but it was like melted, but not totally liquidy melted, but like enough for you to be like, this is going down. This is not going down like real quick.
Interesting. I'll have to try it sometime. You'll have to bring it.
Yeah, it was so good. All right, Beth, you got a question for me?
Yes, 1 second.
Not about the Oscars.
All right. Do I have a question for you today? Are you ready?
I have a question for you. No,
oh, you do. Here's my question for you. Uh-huh. We're starting off with the first Indiana Jones today, right? With Raiders of the Lost Ark. We also have other movies later on in the series like Temple of Doom, Dial of Destiny, and so on, right?
Uh-huh.
So each Indiana Jones, it's got its own unique, like, adventurous type name. My question is, if you could choose the name for the next Indiana Jones movie, what would you choose for it?
For one that already exists, or my own plot and
for
story?
Your own movie. It'd be like Indiana Jones and the blank. You know what I mean? Something that, pretend I'm a movie person and you're pitching it to me and this is the title and I'm like,
I can't make that joke.
Trying to get my money. You gotta sell me right on the title. Indiana Jones and the blank. What do we got?
Die Hard, but an attempt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. What?
I have a great one that I thought of when I was coming up with the question.
Okay.
That is it's already the name of another movie, but it just fits so perfectly.
Romancing the Stone.
No, you ready?
The Sahara. Okay,
listen to this. Mm-hmm. Indiana Jones and the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? That's so good, right? Come on.
I mean,
it's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's better than Dial of Destiny. Okay, Dial of Destiny is the lamest fucking one of them all, in my opinion.
It was very on the nose.
Yeah.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ooh, what's the Ark? Oh, it's the Ark of the Covenant. Temple of Doom. Ooh, what's the temple? Oh, I see what it is. Mm-hmm. The Last Crusade. Oh, what's the Last Crusade? Oh, it's that. Okay. Dial of Destiny. Oh, it's literally a dial. That's it.
Yes. So what would you name it then?
You really put me on the spot. I really can't think of something.
What are you thinking? Let me hear it. What's going on in your brain?
It's something like the World of the Underground.
The Underworld. I am the Undertaker from Incredibles.
Oh,
the Underminer or whatever the fuck. The Underminer.
Yeah, that's.
Ooh. Okay, Indiana Jones and the Gods of the Underworld. Too much?
Maybe. It depends on what arc a lot. It depends on like what would be underground.
The gods. Okay, God. In the Shrine of the Underworld.
Tombs of the Underworld.
Okay. Yeah, there is no tombs in any of these, are there?
No.
And the Tombs of the Underworld.
Except
that's better than...
What? No, I was going to say it's not in Egypt.
That's okay.
That's the plot twist. It's not. They never visit Egypt.
It's actually in the Paris catacombs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Tombs of the Catacombs? Can you say that? Tombs of the Catacombs?
No, I think it's just the catacombs. The catacombs of the Underworld.
As above, so below.
Yeah, I was about to say as above, so below. Indiana Jones. What if it was like, what's that kid's book? It was like Indiana Jones and the No Good, Very Bad Day or whatever that children's book is.
It was not Indiana Jones, but I get
No, but I'm saying like we put it with Indiana Jones. It's like Harry or something. It's a kid's name or something. Henry.
Alexander, the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Alexander. Wow, I was not even close with Henry.
No, Henry.
All right. Well, okay. So what did we land on?
Tombs of the Underworld, or like the
Catacombs is like too long.
The cursed catacombs. It's
And
an
the
alliteration.
cursed catacombs. And the cryptic catacombs. No, that's terrible. Okay.
Cursed catacombs.
In the creepy catacombs.
All right. This needs to end.
Spooky. Alrighty. Thank you for that. That's better than
the you can go full like horror movie. Go The Curse of Chernobyl.
Yeah, there you go. All right, nice. Like it. Sold. Make it. And it's just Indiana Jones getting lost in the catacombs.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
There's skulls everywhere.
I hate skulls. Alrighty, Isaiah, what do you've got today for your facts?
I have many facts, actually. I mean, it's the first one in the movie. It's like really good. Okay. So in May of 1977, you might remember this fact from Star Wars when I mentioned it, that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were hanging out on vacation on a beach in Hawaii. They were trying to avoid hearing the box office return of Star Wars because they were afraid that it was going to be catastrophic.
Right.
So they were just like, okay, we're not going to deal with that. However, they decided they're going to start thinking about the next project for some reason.
And thus, Indy was born.
Lucas and Spielberg discussed their next project. Spielberg wanted to direct a James Bond film, but Lucas pitched him The Adventures of Indiana Smith.
Oh, yikes. Gross. Nope, that doesn't work.
Spielberg hated the name Indiana Smith.
Yeah, good.
But mostly because he believed the audience would think more of Steve McQueen's character, Nevada Smith, from an older Western movie. And then him and a producer later on all agreed on the word Jones. So they changed his name to Indiana Jones. So they wanted to kind of base him like a James Bond kind of character. And Spielberg really wanted to do a James Bond movie. So Lucas wanted Jones to be like a kung fu practitioner and like a playboy, funding his lifestyle to the spoils of his ventures, something like that. But Spielberg was like, I don't know about that. And they felt that the character needed to be more complicated. And it was already complicated enough being like an adventurer and an archaeologist. Like, they didn't think that angle was going to be helpful. So Spielberg suggested making him an avid gambler and an alcoholic.
There you go.
But Lucas wanted Jones to be more of a role model, honest and true and trusting person. And they felt that Jones needed to be valuable and vulnerable and be like
perhaps a little too trusting, by the way.
Yeah. Lucas was suggested Marion would have a romantic past with Jones at the age of 11.
Whoa. Sounds like George.
Yeah, with the much older Indiana Jones. And Spielberg replied, quote, "She had better be older."
Yeah, that's fair. George has got a thing with these underage people. He did that in the prequels, and also siblings. He's got a thing for siblings. I don't know.
Now, the name Indiana comes from George Lucas's Alaskan Allotment dog.
Cute.
Yes, Indiana Jones is named after a dog.
I love it.
Now, those considered for the role of Indiana Jones.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, now, just to put it out there, these names, nobody ended up actually getting in the run of anything. This was all with, like, they were spitballing who they theoretically could be the best person to do it.
Yeah.
So this is like their A-list.
Okay. I'm ready.
Bill Murray.
Alrighty. Wow, starting off with a banger. Okay.
Yeah. Nick Nolte.
Okay.
Steve Martin.
No.
Chevy Chase. Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Would have been a choice. Jeff Bridges.
I
think a young Jeff Bridges, maybe.
Maybe a young one. Maybe.
And then, of course, the legendary Sam Elliott.
Ah.
The mustache.
Yeah. That's like the only other one that I could maybe actually see, Yeah. Just because of his other roles are kind of like that Wild West kind of vibe,
Yeah, he's like, you think Western, I think of Kurt Russell and Sam Elliott.
Yeah. Plus that mustache. Mm.
Yes, the mustache is what really sells it. However,
Yeah.
Lucas's wife preferred Tom Selleck.
Really?
Yes.
Why does she get a say in it?
Apparently she's got a big say because Selleck was actually contracted.
Oh, wow.
So Selleck was actually contracted and they were drafting things up. They were talking with them. They're like, yeah, we want you to be part of this. However, he was also on a contract to do Magnum PI. And this was, that was only if CBS decided to greenlight the show for like a full run, to make it a full TV show. So they were working on the pilot at the time. So Lucas and Spielberg asked if they could release him from his contract 10 days early so that he could film Indiana Jones. And since Tom Selleck was in high demand, CBS said, okay, I guess out of spite, we're going to greenlight Magnum PI. Therefore, he can't play in Indiana Jones.
Oh, wow.
So that meant they were not going to have a lead. This was weeks before production. They weren't going to have a lead for this movie. And then the 1980 writer strike happened.
Oh boy.
And Magnum PI was put on hiatus for 3 months, which would have let Tom Selleck play Indiana Jones had Harrison Ford not stepped in.
Huh.
So there is
alternate
a universe.
Reality. Yeah,
there's a universe out there with Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones.
Oh, good.
However, there is apparently a episode of Magnum PI where they pay homage to Indiana Jones. So he has the whip and the hat and everything.
Huh.
So
interesting. Wonder how they got around that one.
They probably just like made a deal. Now, the top choice to play Salah, which is the guy in Egypt, helps him. Yeah, it helps him and all that stuff. Was Danny DeVito?
Oh no, not Danny.
However, Danny couldn't do it because he had an obligation to the show Taxi.
Thank God.
Yeah, so John Rhys Davies got the role instead.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Now, Tunisia was actually used to portray Egypt in this movie, and Spielberg described this as one of the worst filming experiences ever.
Really? Why?
Yes. The temperature was often over 130 degrees.
Oh, God.
And over 150 crew members became sick with dysentery. Jesus. Now, Spielberg was one of the few to remain healthy, actually, because he ate food and water that was brought in from England. What a rich guy. How bougie.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Lucas also suffered from severe sunburn and facial swelling.
Wow.
My God, it's the first time this is the first time I've heard the crew having issues and injuries.
Yeah, right. It's usually the cast.
Yeah. Speaking of the cast, the sword fight between Indiana Jones and the sword fighter was supposed to be a full fight scene. However, Harrison Ford had food poisoning. So the reason the fight scene is so quick and he just ends up improvising him shooting the sword fighter with the gun and the scene just ending like that. That was improvised. They were just like, because Harrison Ford kept on running to the bathroom every 5 minutes, so they couldn't do the scene. They couldn't film the entire scene. So they're like, okay, so how are we going to cut this down? And Harrison Ford comes out and says, what if I just shoot him?
Oh my God.
So that's why that happens.
Incredible.
And there's apparently a lot of improvisation. Like the script didn't have a lot of details. It was very bare bones. So a lot of stuff happens just kind of like improvised. They just kind of like wing it.
Yeah. I was kind of getting those vibes sometimes.
Yeah. Now, John Rhys Davies, in a deleted scene, he shit his pants in front of the whole crew while having 105 fever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were not having a good time in Tunisia.
No. Tunisia, what happens in Tunisia stays in Tunisia, apparently.
Yes. Now, the snake room had nearly 9,000 snakes in it, which technically most of them weren't actually snakes. They're actually called glass snakes because they're actually just lizards with no legs.
Interesting. Huh. Why not just do snakes?
Probably expensive, and they wouldn't want to go over budget.
True.
Also, I mean, can you get 9,000 snakes?
I didn't know you could get 9,000 glass lizards.
That's true. There were cobras and a few boa constrictors in there, but yeah, most of them were glass snakes. Now, to film The Burning Nazi, which is one of the most iconic shots
it's the only scene I
time.
remembered as a kid.
So to make it, what they did is they made a head with several layers of wax on it, and then made a time lapse of it melting really fast.
Yeah. Insane. That I did know that one just because that's such an iconic scene. And it's so interesting how they did it.
Light her up.
Yeah. They said they got it from Bath and Body Works.
Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark was going to get an R rating because of
That
Belloc's head
scene?
exploding. Yes.
Oh
Not
yeah.
It was funny because like they attribute it not to the face melting scene, but specifically to the head exploding scene. Or well,
I I think the
shot.
face melting is worse.
I do too. I do too.
I feel like the explosive one that's kind of covered with smoke and flames. You can't really see it that much, but like the melting one, it's like you're watching it.
Yeah, no. The reason why it is like that, like it's hard to see, is because they were going to get an R rating, and
Oh.
so to get away with a PG rating, they had to obscure it with flames. So the reason why it's so hard to see
Oh.
is so they can get that PG
Look at
rating.
that. Huh. That's funny.
Yes. And then for our last fact, as you know, Indiana Jones has many Star Wars references.
Mm.
Some of them that are very famous, but you'll probably didn't know. R2D2 and C3PO can be seen in the hieroglyphs in the Ark room, right behind
Yes.
Indy as he's opening the lid.
I've seen that.
Something I didn't realize though is that there's a lot of sound effects from Star Wars in this movie,
Oh,
such
really?
as
I
so in the
recognize the Wilhelm scream was in it too.
yes, the sound of the plane engine, the beginning of the movie starting up,
Mhm.
sounds exactly like the sound of the Millennium Falcon engines failing in the first movie.
Ah, interesting. Sound designer had a day with that.
Yeah, he was like, "Give me everything,"
Yeah, give me the library.
and those are all of our facts today.
Nice. Very nice. I like when you actually have like a lot of them, and it tends to be with the older movies, I feel like,
Lots of time
unfortunately.
has passed for them to
Well, nowadays they
give us
just do
the
everything in CGI, so it's like there's nothing cool about it, you know? Well, thank you for that. Now, let's dive into the movie, shall we? You want to go first?
Yeah, I have nothing to say about this movie. It is
Really?
solid. It is
Hmm.
a great movie. It's
Yeah.
classic action adventure. It's a tad bit misogynistic, like just a little bit. Like it's
Just a
kind of
little,
weird,
just a little bit.
just a little bit.
But that was the time. It was the 80s, you know?
It was the 80s, yeah. So it kind of skates by. It's fine, but
Yeah.
it's solid. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I do think the intro is an amazing intro to like the character of you never
Mhm.
really see him. It's just him investigating things, and then eventually, like he uses his whip. Which, by the way, Harrison Ford knows how to use that.
Oh, really?
He's trained. He's trained extensively on how to use a whip.
Nice. That's good.
So I think it's just a solid intro to
Yeah.
show the character. The
Fair
special
enough.
effects. I mean, obviously the special effects are amazing. Like that's crazy the way they did it.
Even the practical effects too.
Yeah, like everything is solid. It's at the top of their game. But yeah, no, that's all I got pretty much to say. It's 4 out of 5. It's a pretty solid action adventure. I love the I don't know, action adventure. Like I love the adventure, the whole archaeologist finding things.
Mhm.
I love that genre. Like I literally have a letterbox list about that.
Yeah, I mean that really paved. I'm not saying it's the first, but it really paved the way for a lot to come after that. You know, you had Uncharted and Tomb Raider and others. I could only think of video games for some reason.
I have a list of literally called the Treasure Hunter Collection, which includes all the Indiana Jones movies, the Tomb Raider movies, National
National
Treasure.
Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure counts.
Yeah,
It might be goofy, but it counts.
I love
The
those
Mummy,
movies.
the Mummy counts too.
Mm-hmm.
Atlantis, the animated movie, that counts as it too.
Hmm.
The Goonies,
Ah, love the Goonies.
the Goonies counts. Oh, there's also a movie called The Lost City of Z, which is actually like a real life one. Which
Interesting.
if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe. It is a great movie. It stars Charlie Hunnam. He plays a person looking for the lost city of gold.
Oh,
But it's based
okay.
off like the real person who looked for the lost city of gold in
Oh,
like
interesting.
the 20s.
Huh.
And then
Like the 1920s?
the 1920s, yes.
Huh.
And Kumiko. Now this is one. Just it's not a normal one, but it's a solid movie that everyone should probably go see. It's called Kumiko the Treasure Hunter, where it's about a woman who looks for the lost treasure or like the money that's missing in the movie Fargo.
Mm.
So she like watches Fargo, and because the movie starts off saying it's based on a true story, she thinks that the money in the movie is actually there. So she goes,
Oh.
but she's Japanese and lives in Japan, so she's like, it's like following her life of trying to get to this money out there,
Huh.
which
That's
is based, and
interesting.
which is funny is
That's
because
based off a true story?
that movie's also based off a true story because I mean it's really sad. Like I won't
Yeah.
spoil it, but it's a very sad movie. but it's also based off a true story of a real life woman who did that.
Who actually thought, oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's my movie recommendation. Watch Kimiko the Treasure Hunter.
All right, 4 out of 5. Well, I also give it a 4 out of 5, but I do have, I think, a little bit more to say. I think fucking classic. It stands the test of time. I haven't seen it though since I was a little kid, so I kind of went into the whole movie almost blind. Like I was like, I know the concept. I know scenes. I remember scenes from it, but I really didn't know all the details. Like I don't even remember the woman, Marion. I don't even remember her being in it. I thought Short Round was in it. That's in another one, apparently.
Yes.
And I think especially for the time that it came out, 1981, I believe, it was iconic, practical effects wise, special effects wise. Harrison Ford was kind of like new and upcoming. And so having him be the star was a great choice. He kind of plays that suave character very well. So I thought about it too when I was watching the movie. I was like, when you really think about it, the concept of this story is insane, but it works. On paper, I don't understand. I can totally get why the producers were like, no fucking way that we're going to put this out. But I guess it's kind of also how Star Wars went too. And that worked out great. We all know how that came out. So George Lucas is good at making some crazy ideas work. I don't know how he does it. I think I don't remember the movies being as comical as they were. And like sometimes it worked, other times it was a little bit cringy. I'm not going to lie. But it was like 80s sense of humor, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I think Marion was annoying as hell. Oh my God. It was like every other thing she said was just Indy. I was like, oh, your voice is so shrilling. Shut up. I was like, can you do anything? Like they really kind of fell flat with her character because they made like her first initial scene that she's in. They really made her seem like this woman who could handle herself and like didn't need a man to save her and was like this strong female character. And then she just kind of turned into like a nagging damsel in distress for the most part. I mean, she held up her own like when she was in the plane, kind of, Mm-hmm. She like was shooting people and stuff, but still was like, Andy. I was like, oh my God, just stop talking for 2 seconds, please. And then there was so the scene where they're in like the bar in the beginning of the movie and they're fighting, they first find Marion and stuff and Indiana Jones shows up and everything in the Germans. I realized during that fight scene, they just did not put any music in. And it was very jarring to me. Like,
really?
It felt really weird because like all the rest of the fight scenes, there's music, but during the entire fight scene in the bar, it's just sound effects. It was very odd. It was a very odd choice. And I'm curious if they did that on purpose. I mean, obviously they did it on purpose, but like, I'm curious what the reasoning was behind it because they didn't do that throughout the rest of the movie. Like it would have made sense if every fight scene was like that just to really make you feel like in the moment or something, but it's just like a one-time thing. So just something I noticed and I was like, well, that's odd. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. Like you said, there's really not much to say about it. It's just a solid movie.
I like solid movies.
Yeah. But is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up today's episode? All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to today's episode and welcome to season 16. Please feel free to send in any movie suggestions you'd like us to watch and review for any upcoming listeners episodes that we're having. If you don't follow us, you can send those suggestions in at silverscreensips@gmail.com. And if you don't follow us already, then be sure to follow us on Instagram as well so you can get any and all updates regarding the show. And we will see you next week with the Tombs of the Underworld. Kidding. The Temple of Doom. We'll see you there.